the advocacy committee for the American Diabetes Association. We thought this is just the person that we need to talk to about this. Also, by the way, living with diabetes, type 1 diabetes, since, what is it, 1999, Nikita?
Yes, 1999, after my freshman year in college.
How much of a life changer was that for you?
Well, it was a huge change. The only thing I knew about diabetes was Still Magnolias and Julia Roberts died and had a baby. So that freaked me out. The first thing I asked the doctor was, "Oh, will I be able to act still? Will I be able to have a baby?" And he told me about Halle Berry. He was like, "I think you'll be fine."
Well, and that's the point. You probably are thinking, "Oh, she's familiar to me." Yes, she is an actress, but she's also an advocate for the American Diabetes Association, and that's something that was really important to you, because getting information out to people who are recently diagnosed like you had been, right? And
Yes.
One of the things that we know, Nikita, that's such a pain point for people, it's not necessarily the injection, it's the cost of, and trying to figure out where the money is going to come from to pay for that insulin, which isn't a nice to have, it's a need to have.
Yeah, speaking to the need of it all, I have type 1 diabetes, and there was an instance where I was without insulin for 5 hours, and that put me in the hospital in ICU for 2 weeks.
Oh my God.
So the necessity of this life-sustaining, it's literally like in this little bottle, if you can see.
Yeah.
And some people are paying up to $714 for like these little tools. I mean, it's just this much. And it's like the amount of money that people have to go through is just ridiculous. People are like, do I pay for groceries or do I get my insulin? Do I, pay rent, or do I take less dosage so that I can last longer? So it's really a problem.
Oh my God, the fact that people are having to make those decisions when their life hangs in the balance.
Exactly, yes.
So let me ask about that. So in terms of what you think, I just want to get your thoughts on what the governor is suggesting. Like, how much of an impact do you think that's going to have on folks like yourself, on folks that are dealing with this need for insulin on a daily basis?
Well, I'm pretty sure myself, along with the ADA, they appreciate Governor Newsom's efforts to help people with diabetes by pursuing, a way to make insulin more affordable. And I eagerly await details about the partnership to produce the insulin. And I know that the ADA, we have over 40,000 advocates in California alone. So I know they're going to get us marching to provide feedback and support the efforts that Newsom's trying to make moving forward.
And there'll be those at home saying, well, I mean, wouldn't your health insurance just cover that?
Well, no, I know during those pre-existing condition days, I literally would get all the way to the last step. And as soon as they started asking me questions about medicine that I needed, it was like it was like I was out the window. I was like, so basically I'm going to need my insurance more, so I'm not qualifying. Mm-hmm. And one of the ladies was like, yes. Basically. For insurance to cover a lot of these things is going to be very helpful for loads of Americans out there, because we're dealing with the epidemic, like 1 in 3 or 1 in 4.
1 in 3 and 1 in 4, and a lot of those numbers are in the Black and brown communities.
Yes, exactly.
What more needs to be done to get awareness? I mean, that's obviously a huge part of the work the ADA does, right? Is the awareness building. It's about advocating, about making sure, putting pressure on lawmakers to hear from this community and from this constituency, but also to educate the community. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've done through the years many talks with like senior homes, because some of the questions they had were with the food disparities and how they can advocate in their homes in terms of, well, all they give us is carbs on the plate. So how are we supposed to keep our blood sugars down?
Really good point.
All the way to things to what questions to ask your doctor when he says pre-diabetic. What does that mean? Yeah. One of my friends she was going through some issues, and I was like, I'm like, that kind of sounds like the onset of diabetes. And I said, do you mind if I check your blood sugar? It was in the 300s. I was like, I think you need to call your doctor right now. So making
What were some of those things? What were some of those things that made you...
So a lot of the things she said, she was urinating a lot, like going to the bathroom, having no control of your bladder, extreme thirst. I remember in college, went through like a whole box of Capri Sun in like half a day. Lethargic, very tired. I started losing weight before I found out I had type 1 diabetes, like 3 or 4 sizes.
Wow.
So that's kind of interesting in the young adult community, right? And
Absolutely.
teenage community, because you might be like, oh, I look fabulous.
Right.
And a lot of people are dealing with that, like not taking insulin so they could lose. It's a whole thing. So
Her plate is full, and you couldn't be a better advocate and a better voice for this. Actress and advocate for the American Diabetes Association, Nikita Calame-Harris, thank you so much for being here, for bringing your voice to this discussion. You know, the governor obviously making some news, and we wanted to get word from advocates on how they feel about it. Good to talk with you.
Thank you for covering this.
Absolutely. We'll have more on our website if you'd like to find out more.